Italian Football Podcast.
Midweek, though, is return of European football, all three competitions. We'll start off by talking about the biggest game, which is Villarreal against Juventus in the Champions League. It's on Wednesday evening, Wednesday the 2nd of October, 2100 Central European time, at El Madrigal in Spain. Villarreal at home, Champions League match day 2. Big game for both teams, because Villarreal lost their first game in the Champions League at Tottenham, where they played well, and Juventus drew, of course, with Borussia Dortmund. So if you're losing this game, you're already playing catch up a little bit in this group or league phase, as it's called. First of all, talk about the team news. So Juventus have Miretti out, and we have to see. We're recording this on Monday. We have to see on the status of Bremer and Thuram if they went off injured against Atalanta at the weekend. So there's going to be concerns over both of those, whether they can play. And then Villarreal have long-term ACLs, Garganese and Logan Costa, Cambuala, Moreno. I'm not sure about the status of him ahead of the game. Probable 11s. So Villarreal, we're looking at probably Luis Junior, Cardona, Renato Vega, of course, former Juventus player from last season. Voith, Mourinho, Buchanan, former Inter, Guay, Comesana, Pepe, Perez, and Mikatauza. And then Juventus will be a 3-4-2-1. Di Gregorio, probably the defence will be Kalulu, Kelly, and Gatti, unless Bremer can prove his fitness.
Well, Cabal should play as well. I mean, he scored the goal as well. And
I don't think he'll start, because he's been out for a long time with the ACL.
But he looked good against Atalanta. I liked what I saw from him. He looked very energetic. And
I mean, he could start, but I think it's a gamble starting him after such a long period out. I think they want to build him up. He's only been playing 15, 20-minute kind of sub-appearances so far. And then wing-backs, we're probably looking at Cambiasso and João Mario or McKennie. And then midfield, it will be Locatelli will come back. Thuram, we have to see the fitness. If it isn't Thuram, it will be Coop Miners. Again, McKennie's an option. And then Yildiz will play. Conceição, if he can prove his fitness, because he missed the weekend game, will probably come back in if he passed fit. And then it looks like it's going to be Jonathan David who's going to start in attack. Villarreal favourites for this game, 11-8. Juventus are 2-1, and the draw is 9-4. I'm concerned about Juventus going into this game. Villarreal have been really good so far this season, playing really well. The results have been good, and their home record is really, really exceptional. Villarreal, it's a really tough place to go. It's a kind of a bit of a cauldron, a small cauldron, but it's a cauldron. It's a difficult place to go. And Juventus, I'm not confident going into
I understand why you're not confident, but at the same time, this is an opportunity for someone like Jonathan David to make his mark at Juve. It's been a bit stop and go, hit and miss. But now, in these games, get a goal or two, get your confidence up, and try to. And same for Coop Miners. I mean, he did okay against Atalanta. Can he start again and build on a positive run and try to change the narrative a little bit around him? After what has been a disaster since he joined. So there's an opportunity here for both. For especially Jonathan David and Coop Miners, if they get the nod. I expect Cabal to play. I think he looked lively against Atalanta. It wasn't just the goal. It wasn't just. He just looked like he was back. Maybe it's a risk to start him. I agree with that. But at the same time, when you're in the position you are, do you want to risk Bremer? I'd rather not.
Well, no, you don't risk Bremer, but I think you play Gatti, Kalulu, and Kelly as your back three. But
that scares the shit out of me. That back three scares the shit out of me. I don't see.
Absolutely. Gatti was a disaster as well. He got done for the goal. He's not looked good. Gatti I don't trust him in a back three. I think he's a back
No,
four. I think he's a back four defender, and I think that actually, and this is something that was actually discussed, maybe Tudor needs to look at potentially moving to a back four, because I don't think Juventus have enough good defenders, good centre backs to play a back three, and I don't think Gatti is comfortable in a back three. I think Kalulu is better in a back four as well.
without a doubt.
Gatti, playing him as a side centre back, he's not far. He's a bit like Skriniar. We used to say about Skriniar, his lateral movement, which you have to cover those spaces in between the wing back area and the space behind you. I don't think he's good. And also the issue that we said about the front three, not being able to play. I think if you play a 4-3-3, Openda can actually play as a wide. You could put him in kind of like you would with a Moise Kean. You could play them as a left attacker. I think that then gives you more of an option that you could play Openda if you need to. You could play Openda as a left winger. The problem with that is, do you get the best out of Yildiz playing him as a left winger when he's been much better in the centre? But I think that's something maybe Juventus should consider. But my concerns are Bremer and Thuram are not playing or not fully fit. I can't. I think it's I have Villarreal definitely as favourites. As not going to say strong favourites.
No, but they're favourites. They're
definitely
favourites.
have
They're
those favourites.
home.
If Bremer and Thuram are not playing, then I think Juventus are big concerns for Juventus.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair because given how Juventus have looked, somewhat shaky in defence, they've kind of addressed that. They're not creating enough, and now you've got some issues in defence and midfield. You don't know who's going to start. You don't know. You have players who aren't really fit. Conceição, Gigrova's not fully fit or match fit. Conceição, do we know what happens with him? Bremer, Thuram injury. There are question marks, but so I would agree. And then of course with Openda and David and not scoring and not offering much. There are strong reasons to be concerned for you, but again, this is when the opportunity beckons, when there's a chance to change the narrative for players like Koopmeiners especially and Jonathan David. Now's the time to do it, because if you do it, then you can build on that and turn your entire fortune at a club around. A result against Villarreal when Juventus aren't favorites is something that can help push the needle for their careers at Juve. I'm not saying we should give up on Jonathan David or anything stupid like that. I'm just saying that this is an opportunity. This is one of those chances where you need to step up.
No, he needs to step up. I've not seen enough from him at all so far.
And I'm a little bit concerned.
I had, which I raised at the time of the signing.
You did, and what I do have a little bit of a concern with, which I think we need to talk about, is I don't understand or not understand. It's not working. Him and Kenan, he sticks out of this Juve team like a sore thumb more than that. He's not scoring. It feels like he feels misplaced, like he shouldn't be there, like he's not. They don't work together when he's played there. He sticks out like a sore thumb a little bit, and I want to see him and Kenan, because Juve are building around Kenan Yildiz. That's where everything goes through. He needs to find a way to work with Kenan Yildiz, because if he can do that, that will make him an option at Juve. If he can't make it work with Kenan Yildiz, then he's like, then the whole thing kind of feels like it could fall apart pretty quickly. So that's the concern. So yeah, for Koopmeiners, again, Koopmeiners and Jonathan David, I look at it the same way. Make it work with Kenan Yildiz at least. Find a way to coexist with Kenan Yildiz and build with him. The rest focus on later, because everything goes through Juve at Kenan Yildiz. If you can make it work with him, then Juve can see that they have something to build on, at least in the attacking phase. The rest they can work on in details. But when you can't even make it work with Kenan Yildiz, who is the future, he is who you were building around, then it's basically you don't tick any of the boxes, and you're just like you're just a liability more than anything.
No, I think. Listen, I'm deeply worried for Juventus. Villarreal's home record is outstanding. They've won 8 games in a row at home. 8 wins in a row. It's very, very difficult for Juventus, especially like with those fitness concerns that you mentioned there, of more than just the players that might miss out, but the ones that are playing. So I think if Juventus, I would snap your hand off right now for a draw. If Juventus can come away with a draw from this game, they've got a good result, and so that's what they need to try and at least take a point from this game. But yeah, no, coming back to your point, David, yeah, he needs to step up. We need to see more from him, and yeah,